There was a monastery in the mountains where monks learned music, languages, mathematics, and art. Yet one monk mastered each skill in half the time of his peers. When asked his secret, he didn't speak of harder work or greater talent. He simply said, "I learned to be fully present while learning." The other monks thought he was being poetic. He was being precise. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that the quality of our attention determines the quality of our life. Krishna tells Arjuna that scattered focus is like trying to fill a cup with 1,000 holes in it. No matter how much water you pour, nothing remains. Modern neuroscience confirms this ancient wisdom. The brain cannot multitask. It can only switch between tasks, losing efficiency each time. Yet we live in an age of infinite distraction, believing we are productive when we are actually fragmenting ourselves. Buddhism goes deeper. The Buddha taught that suffering comes not from difficulty, but from resistance to what is. When we learn, we resist. We judge ourselves. We worry about outcomes. We compare our progress to others. This resistance creates friction. The monk understood something revolutionary. Mastery isn't about doing more. It's about removing the obstacles between you and what you are learning. Here's the first insight. Most people learn with their minds divided. Part of them is present with the material. Part of them is anxious about whether they're learning fast enough. Part of them is thinking about what comes next. The monk learned with singular focus. When his hands touched the instrument, his entire being was there. Not yesterday's failures. Not tomorrow's performance. Just this moment, this note, this breath. The second insight is about patience as a superpower. We've been taught that speed equals success. But the monk knew something different. He moved slowly through each lesson, not because he was lazy, but because slowness allowed depth. A river carves a canyon not through force, but through consistent, patient presence. When you rush learning, you skim the surface. When you slow down, you penetrate to the roots. The third insight concerns the relationship between effort and ease. The Stoics taught that we control our effort, not our results. The monk applied this perfectly. He never asked, "Am I learning fast enough?" He asked only, "Am I fully present right now?" This shift removed the anxiety that blocks learning. When you stop demanding results and simply show up completely, paradoxically, results accelerate. The fourth insight is perhaps the most overlooked. The quality of your attention shapes your neural pathways. Every time you learn while distracted, you are literally training your brain to be distracted. Every time you learn with full presence, you are training your brain to absorb deeply. The monk wasn't just learning faster. He was rewiring his capacity to learn itself. And in that silence between lessons, the monk understood something that changed everything. Mastery isn't a destination you reach through speed. It's a relationship you deepen through presence. The masters throughout history weren't the ones who rushed. They were the ones who fell in love with the process itself. They became so absorbed in what they were doing that time dissolved. Here's what you can do today. Choose one skill you are developing and give it 15 minutes of undivided attention. Not your phone nearby. Not half your mind on your to-do list. Just you and the skill. Notice how much deeper you go. Notice how time feels different. This is the monk's secret, available to you right now. The path to mastery isn't hidden in some distant monastery. It's available in this moment, in whatever you are learning. When you bring your whole self to what matters, everything changes. Subscribe to LifeVeda for daily wisdom that transforms your life.